Anthony Rumble Johnson is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
Yeah.
The guy goes up 2 weight classes
Anthony
and is
Joshua.
knocking out everybody with one punch and destroying people.
I just want to know what person in this room can say that their life has always been perfect. I would love to meet him.
Anthony Rumble Johnson, at the very young age of 38, passed away.
Going through the things he went through over the last year, he didn't deserve that, you know.
I love you. Come on, man.
God damn.
You all? I said I love you.
Before there was Francis Ngannou, there was Rumble Johnson.
Johnson was born on March 6, 1984, in Dublin, Georgia.
My grandparents,
Oh,
at
you
the age of
born
2,
in
they
Georgia.
adopted me. My mom, she was straight poor. I do appreciate her for putting me up for adoption to my grandparents.
Raised by his grandparents, who stepped in as
Oh,
parental
shit.
figures, Johnson grew up in a disciplined household where he learned the importance of hard work.
My granddad was rough. He was old school. You did something wrong, you'll get a whooping.
His athletic prowess was evident,
I remember them days, man.
especially in wrestling.
My grandmother always called me crazy when I was a little kid. She used to think I was crazy because I would fight a teddy bear. It was a yellow teddy bear. I used to beat him up. It was WWF back in the day. Jump off the couch and land on top of the bear and like punch him and kick him and throw him around.
You always fight.
Yeah, I was just, the bear had a missing eye, half of his nose was gone. That was the only time I did any fighting. My first sparring partner, I never really had a real legit street fight or anything like that.
Excelling as a wrestler in high school, Johnson carried his talents to Lassen College in California, where he became a junior college national wrestling champion.
My granddad died in '07.
I love you, son, and I'm gonna miss you.
One thing he said to me the week that he died, fight like you're fighting a lion across the cage. That's what I do.
Though wrestling was his first love, Johnson discovered mixed martial arts shortly after college. Drawn to the intensity and challenge of the sport, he began training in striking and grappling, quickly adapting to the
So he wasn't
all-encompassing
even-
nature of MMA. In 2006, he made his professional debut, earning a first-round knockout. This set the tone for his career, a career built on sheer power and the ability to end fights in the blink of an eye. While his natural power and athletic ability were evident, his entry into the sport wasn't as direct or polished as some fighters with extensive martial arts backgrounds. After his debut, Johnson quickly began building his skills. He fought in smaller promotions, gaining valuable experience and sharpening his raw talent. His explosive power and athleticism stood out early on, with most of his victories coming via knockout. These performances began to attract attention, and it wasn't long before his name appeared on the radar of UFC scouts. Johnson's early success caught the attention of his longtime mentor and coach, Henry Hooft. Under Hooft's guidance, Johnson developed his now iconic striking style, blending raw knockout power with technical precision. This combination of mentorship, natural gifts, and relentless work ethic propelled him into a higher competitive tier. By 2007, Johnson earned a chance to compete in the UFC, the biggest stage in MMA, at the young age of 23.
The 23-year-old is undefeated in 3 professional fights, and with a win tonight, we will have a new fighter to watch at 170 pounds.
When I spank you on your ass and send you back home to mama, don't be crying and say I got whooped by a black man.
The UFC saw his potential as a thrilling addition to the welterweight division, which at the time was stacked with talent. Johnson made his debut in dramatic fashion, securing a 13-second knockout that left fans and analysts buzzing. It was clear from his very first UFC appearance that Johnson wasn't just another prospect. He was a future star. The transition from small promotions to the UFC wasn't without challenges, however. Johnson's size and musculature made cutting to 170 pounds a grueling process, something that would plague him throughout his career. Nevertheless, his ability to deliver knockouts and electrify audiences made him a fighter to watch. By 2008, Anthony Johnson had established himself as one of the UFC's most promising up-and-comers, with his sights set on rising through the welterweight ranking.
Bro, he was killing people.
In 2009, as Johnson's career was gaining momentum, his personal life faced its first major setback. He was charged with domestic violence, battery, and making criminal threats. Although Johnson denied the allegations, the legal case put a stain on his reputation. While he continued competing and winning in the UFC, the incident introduced a pattern of personal and legal struggles that would follow him throughout his life. Around the same time, his battles with weight cutting intensified. Johnson missed weight several times, with each incident drawing criticism from fans and UFC management. Despite his in-cage success, his inability to meet professional standards outside of it began to overshadow his performances. The tipping point came in 2012, during a scheduled middleweight fight at 185 pounds against Vitor Belfort, a former UFC champion and one of the most dangerous fighters of the era. This bout was particularly significant because it was Johnson's attempt to reinvent himself in a higher weight class after repeated struggles to make the welterweight heavyweight limit of 170 pounds. However, the move to middleweight proved disastrous.
My favorite part about Rumble, he missed weight many times, but he had an extremely hard time making weight. So Dana finally says enough and moves him up to 185. Rumble missed that weight class by 7 pounds.
Johnson missed weight by an astonishing 11.
He was a big boy. Damn, he went from 170, 185 and then missed that. He was just a big boy.
Pounds, coming in at 197 pounds.
197! 197 is crazy.
Closer to the light heavyweight limit than middleweight. Despite the weight miss, the fight proceeded, and Johnson lost via submission in the first round. The weight miss and his defeat deeply frustrated UFC officials, leading to his release from the promotion.
Damn, he weighed 190. Bro, he weighed 12 pounds, though. Damn. That's insane.
What can Dana do? You missed weight 4 times at 170. I want to make you #1 contender. I move you up to 85, put you against Vitor, which is going to spring you right in. I got to turn you loose for a little bit. Rumble Johnson is one of the most terrifying propositions in the history of the regional circuit. He didn't belong.
Following his release, Johnson knew he needed a fresh start. He signed with the World Series of Fighting and made a strategic move to light heavyweight, 205 pounds, a division much closer to his natural weight.
Right now, you're on the outside looking in. Is it hard to be here, not being a member of the UFC family?
Yeah, it's hard. The more I sit back and I look at the guys that are doing that thing now and where they are, I'm like, shit, I should have been there a long time ago. I just got to suck it up and work my ass off just to get back in there. You know, I am sorry for letting a lot of people down.
How does one go from 170 to 185 to 205? You kind of just skipped over.
Bro, he
skipped over 185, not me. So I'm doing what my body says, and it says fight 205.
Do you think you reach a point where you are actually damaging your body, where maybe in a few years you may feel the repercussions of all this weight cutting?
Yeah, I think, you know, I could have possibly messed myself up in the future. Hopefully I'll stop soon enough so my body won't retaliate years from now.
Freed from the extreme weight cuts that
Of course, bro. Of course, bro. Well, I mean, it's a sport, man. You gotta,
and compromised his performance. Johnson thrived.
You have to come to the conclusion that, you know, if the weight cut is that hard for you and you can't make weight, you need to go up. So that's what I did, you know.
At light heavyweight, his power and striking abilities reached their peak, and he quickly established himself as a dominant force. After his dominant performances in the light heavyweight division in the World Series of Fighting, Johnson moved up to heavyweight to face former UFC heavyweight champion. In the World Series of Fighting, Johnson moved up to heavyweight to face former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovsky. Despite being undersized for the division and giving up a significant weight advantage, Johnson showcased his striking power and resilience.
Compared to 170, you ever look back and say, why did I keep doing this?
I say it every day, but I don't regret going down to 170 because if I hadn't fought at 170, I probably wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. People probably wouldn't know who I am because at 170 I was just huge.
Sparking shit.
Probably you ever see. Then I kept missing weight. So you got 2 reasons why you know me.
By 2014, Johnson had earned a second chance in the UFC, returning as a light heavyweight.
After being cut from the UFC, I really had to reevaluate everything and see what I needed to do to be better. I'm very glad that they cut me the first time, because if they hadn't, I'd probably still be that knucklehead that was like, you know, missing weight and didn't care.
What's different about you now compared to your first run in the UFC, just mentally, emotionally?
I'm smarter.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Welcome back. What's it like? Media day, all this stuff. What's it like being back in the UFC?
It's fun. It's fun. I've been having a blast since I've been back. Once again, I don't hate everybody because I'm making weight and I can eat, I can drink, you know, so I feel good.
UFC 142 was your last fight, and it was a low moment for you because of what happened before the fight and then the Vitor loss. Was that, would you say, the lowest moment of your career? And you start thinking about that now that you're back to try not to, like, this is a new chapter, but you don't want to forget what happened.
This nigga Ariel Wani,
boy.
boy.
Ask about it.
Exactly.
You never think
This nigga Ariel Wani, boy.
You're a different man.
Exactly. So why are we talking about it?
Well,
he immediately made an impact.
This nigga Ariel Wani, boy.
Knockouts. Wins over elite fighters such as Phil Davis and Antonio Nogueira cemented his status as a top contender and one of the most feared fighters in the division. This remarkable reinvention not only revitalized his career, but also solidified his place as a true powerhouse in MMA history. But he also faced significant legal issues in 2014 that impacted his career and public image. In September of that year, allegations surfaced accusing Johnson of domestic abuse against the mother of his 2 children.
Damn!
He's been arrested
Johnson?
for domestic violence after an altercation with his girlfriend. The situation
It's different girlfriend than the original.
That's right.
allegation,
It's the
correct?
second time he's been arrested for domestic violence. It happened once in 2009.
It's the same girl?
He grabbed me during an argument. I was trying to pack his stuff up to kick him out of the apartment. And during that, he grabbed me and took me to another room. And I was scared because he's an MMA fighter and he's strong and he's powerful. And I called the cops. When cops got there, they talked to Anthony, and Anthony said, look, yes. Did I grab her and pick her up? Yes, but only because I wanted to stop the argument.
So did she confirm the same story? Did she confirm that he did not actually strike her or hit her? Or anything
Correct,
like that?
but the way that the law works is you can't.
Yeah, when the police when the police get there, I think it's a law now in certain states. They gotta take somebody. Like if you call the police to your home, bro, in some states they gotta take somebody. Either the man most likely gonna go 80-90% of the time. But bro, dudes, bro, when you fussing with your girl, bro, just leave her. Walk out the house, nigga. Run, nigga. Do not touch her at all. No, none of that. Run.
On somebody like that, you take it physical with a person. Second time, second strike, you can't do this stuff.
Go to counseling, brother. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to talk.
Counseling.
Yourself with different people.
Bro, I'm sorry. I don't know. I know some people in my comments love counseling. They need therapy, but I don't think. Look, I'm not gonna speak on it.
Humanity is
some people do need counseling.
Over.
Counseling ain't always gonna fix things.
You're attracting the same type of women, causing you to the point where you constantly in quarrels. You know, you gotta evaluate that.
Listen to this man.
The allegations included claims of physical intimidation and verbal abuse. In response, the UFC suspended Johnson indefinitely, pending an investigation. However, by November 2014, the civil case was dismissed, and the UFC lifted his suspension, allowing him to return to competition.
UFC President Dana White announced on Thursday that Anthony Johnson's civil case has been dismissed, and as a result, his suspension has been lifted by the organization. A woman, believed to be the mother of 2 of Johnson's children, dismissed an order of protection this week in a...
Hey, you the one of his child and got an order of protection, bro? Like, bro, what's really going on, man? Like, but what type of, bro? I'm not even gonna speak on it, bro.
To court with Johnson's side arguing that he did nothing wrong. I mean, there were just all these incidents coming forward, not just one, and now all of a sudden, oh, it's dismissed, back to normal.
You can't just ignore.
Cause it's, bro, and the nigga reputation still damaged, bro. This is like, man.
By all accounts, this is a great dude, and accusations that have been withdrawn. So the UFC seems very safe in doing this because, again, later they can always go, well, we were wrong. Right now, it seems he's been cleared and everything's all right.
Johnson's first fight after the controversy was against Sweden's Alexander Gustafsson in Gustafsson's home country. The fight was a title eliminator, with the winner earning a shot at the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Gustafsson, a former title challenger who had pushed Jon Jones to the limit in a 5-round war, was the heavy favorite going into the fight. However, Johnson silenced the critics and the Swedish crowd in spectacular fashion. Just over 2 minutes into the first round, Johnson landed a devastating right hand that wobbled Gustafsson. He followed up with relentless strikes, forcing the referee to stop the fight via TKO in round 1.
Thank you, Stockholm, for having me here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And Jon Jones, you know what I'm saying? I hope you get well, brother. Let's get this championship fight on, man, and make the crowd and the fans excited about this.
The victory not only earned him a Performance of the Night bonus, but also cemented his place as the #1 contender for the light heavyweight title.
Huge congratulations. What a massive, massive win for you. Just firstly, describe your emotion.
I've been through a lot, and to accomplish something like this is like, it doesn't even seem real.
You will get that title shot. Well, we're sure that you will. You called out Jon Jones at the end there. How does a fight with him look?
It looks good to me. I like my chances with Jon. I like my chances with anybody, really. The fans are gonna love that fight with me and Jon.
Fans began clamoring for a showdown between Johnson and the reigning champion, Jon Jones, a fight that promised fireworks given their contrasting styles and mutual respect. In 2015, the UFC announced that Johnson would face Jones for the light heavyweight title.
Rumble, you and Jon Jones, that stare down. Whose idea was that? That was brilliant.
It was mine. You know, I went to the back before the stare down, and I was like, Jon, let's do something on the stage. And he was like, hey, I'm going to headbutt you, and let's do the whole scene like Dana Cormier. Dana's Mr. Billy Badass, you know what I mean? But
that's why I like that, though. I like that. That's what I was
Let's do something on the stage. And he was like, hey, I'm going to headbutt you, and let's do the whole scene like Dana Cormier. Dana's Mr. Billy Badass, you know what I mean? But he definitely out damn near himself.
However, just weeks before the bout, Jones was stripped of his title and suspended following a hit-and-run incident.
UFC's president flew to Albuquerque to learn more about the felony charges Jones faces in connection with a hit-and-run crash.
Effective immediately, Jones is stripped of his light heavyweight title and is suspended indefinitely.
The fight was canceled, and Daniel Cormier replaced Jones to face Johnson for the vacant title.
This nigga Johns, I think that's the time he hit that pregnant woman, bro. Yeah.
Are you disappointed that you're not fighting John? You know?
Yeah.
Equally?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll come back?
Oh yeah, he'll come back.
The fight against Cormier was highly anticipated, with Johnson entering as the betting favorite due to his devastating knockout power. In the opening round, Johnson lived up to his reputation, dropping Cormier with a thunderous right hand. However, as the fight progressed, Cormier's superior grappling nullified Johnson's striking. By the third round, Cormier secured a rear naked choke submission, handing Johnson a disappointing loss. This defeat was a turning point for Johnson, as it forced him to evaluate his strategy, skill set, and mindset moving forward. Instead of dwelling on the loss, Johnson made adjustments that would propel him back to title contention. After his loss to Daniel Cormier at UFC 187, controversy struck again outside the octagon in August 2015. He became involved in a confrontation at his gym with a woman practicing yoga. Frustrated by her presence in the workout area, Johnson admitted on Facebook to throwing her yoga mat across the gym and venting his
What? The goddamn like a bag of dry dog food is crazy. He said if you get in the way or any other athlete way again, I'll throw it. Damn, so don't run your mouth.
Annoyance in a now-deleted post. The incident drew widespread criticism, prompting the UFC to launch an independent investigation.
I just want to know what person in this room can say that their life has always been perfect. You know what I mean? If you can
Investigation to a nigga into an argument? Come on, man. Ain't nobody get hurt, man.
One person in this whole world that their life has been perfect. I would love to meet him.
You want to investigate everything, man.
So, like I said, nobody's perfect.
While no severe consequences arose from the matter, the episode added to the string of controversies that occasionally overshadowed Johnson's professional achievements. Johnson's response to his loss to Cormier was nothing short of explosive. Over the next 2 years, he went on a knockout rampage, solidifying his position as one of the most dangerous fighters in MMA history. At UFC 191, Johnson faced Jimmy Manuwa, a dangerous striker in his own right. Johnson overwhelmed Manuwa with his trademark power, earning a devastating second-round KO. At UFC on Fox 18,
but he
Johnson
be sparking
faced Ryan
shit.
Bader, a decorated wrestler. Bader attempted to take Johnson down immediately, but Rumble defended the attempt, reversed the position, and finished the fight with brutal ground and pound in just 86 seconds. And at UFC 202, Johnson met Glover Teixeira, a highly skilled veteran. The fight lasted only 13 seconds, as Johnson landed a perfectly timed uppercut that not only left Glover unconscious before he hit the seconds. As Johnson landed a perfectly timed uppercut that not only left Glover unconscious before he hit the mat, but also sent one of his teeth flying across the octagon, making it one of the most memorable moments in MMA history.
He's so dangerous.
Gosh.
Rumble's so dangerous.
That's a scary, yeah.
He was so dangerous. He had power that was. I remember when he hit Glover.
He knocked out his teeth?
This emphatic victory cemented Johnson's status as the top contender in the division and further reinforced his reputation as one of the most devastating knockout artists the sport had ever seen. Each victory brought Johnson closer to a rematch with Cormier, but it also reignited talk of a potential fight with Jon Jones. After working his way back to the top, Johnson earned a rematch against Daniel Cormier at UFC 210 in April 2017.
How's the weight cut going for you? I know, obviously, this time doing all the media obligations.
170 no more. So
Yeah.
Y'all still asking the same questions when I was
No,
fighting
but
170?
it's a main event fight. You have a lot of media obligations. It's tough to, stay hydrated and
Like I
everything.
said, y'all asking me the question like I fight 170. Back then you had something to worry about. Hell, I had something to worry about back then. But now it's peaches and cream. I got 10 pounds to lose, if that. So I'm
Great.
This was another chance for Rumble to claim the light heavyweight title and avenge his loss. However, the fight played out similarly to their first encounter. Johnson had moments of success on the feet, but ultimately chose to engage in grappling exchanges with
Why?
Cormier, a decision that baffled fans and commentators. Cormier once again secured a rear naked choke, defeating Johnson in the second round. After the fight, in a shocking turn of events, Johnson announced his retirement from MMA at just 33 years old. He cited a desire to explore other ventures, including a business in the cannabis industry. Many believed he was stepping away from fighting too soon.
Oh,
as
he
he
smell
was
that
still at
gas!
the peak of his abilities. Johnson's retirement announcement effectively ended any hope of the highly anticipated showdown. Fans were left wondering how a fight between Johnson's devastating knockout power and Jones's versatile skill set might have played out.
I love you. This was my last fight. I would never, ever forget you. And my man Bones right here, keep your head up, baby. All right? I know we didn't give the fans the fight that they wanted. Maybe in the next life we'll do that.
Dang!
Johnson's neck.
That hit. Dang. Ooh, that hit me. Ooh, that hit. I can't lie. I'm in the weed, but also that quote hit. Oh, man. I'll fight you in the next life. Damn.
Forget you. And my man Bones right here, keep your head up, baby. All right? I know we didn't give the fans the fight that they wanted. Maybe in the next life we'll do that.
Johnson's next life
Damn,
gained
bro.
even more poignancy after his retirement, becoming symbolic of one of
that
MMA's greatest what-if scenarios. Even in retirement,
that hurt.
Johnson's words carried weight, reflecting his unyielding competitive spirit and his admiration for one of the greatest fighters of his era.
He used
During
to
his time
spark
away
shit.
from fighting, Johnson underwent a dramatic physical transformation. Known for his lean, muscular physique as a light heavyweight, he gained significant muscle mass, taking on a bodybuilder-like appearance. This sparked speculation about a potential return to fighting, with fans theorizing that Johnson might compete as a heavyweight if he ever decided to come back. Johnson remained coy about the idea of a comeback for several years, but his increased involvement in training and his attendance at MMA events kept the rumors alive. After 4 years in retirement, Johnson announced in 2020 that he was planning a comeback.
Right? And so you hear it all the time, like take advantage of your opportunities. Do you ever regret taking off 3 years from the sport?
Nah. Sometimes you need to. You know, I didn't have to. Some people need to. But my body, I'm still healthy. Even whenever I was fighting, I always listened to my body and took care of myself.
Not in the UFC, but with Bellator, one of the sport's leading promotions at the time.
Why are you no longer with the UFC?
It was no bad blood, nothing negative. And I still have the utmost respect for Zuffa, Dana White. UFC it made me who I am today. I have nothing but love for him. Now I'm at Bellator and I'm ready to see what I can do there.
Is there any one fight that you kind of disappointed is off the table now? John
Jones.
John was the reason
Damn.
I went up to.
I ain't gonna lie. Who y'all got winning that? Who y'all got winning that in they prime? I ain't gonna lie. Johnson used to spark shit. I want to watch his full fights, bro. I gotta figure out a way where I can watch his react to their full fights for y'all, bro. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I gotta figure out where I can react to their full fights, like UFC full fights. But I got John.
Being able to fight the
Give me John. I'm sorry.
#1 guy ever at 205. That's an honor to be able to compete against somebody like that. Now, fighting John took a lot of life out of me, believe it or not, because he was my main focus. He was the guy.
Johnson officially signed with Bellator and began competing in their light heavyweight division.
What are your expectations in Bellator? How quickly would you like to hold that gold strap?
I got to get to it first. I got to take it one fight at a time. I'm not focused on it like I used to be, I guess. Right now, I just want to go out there and have fun. You know, I'm 37 years old. I've been through the highs and lows of the sport. Right now, man, I just need to have fun and just make as much money as I can and live my life. That's it.
How the heck did you ever make welterweight, man? You're looking huge.
That nigga look crazy.
A lot of prayer and a lot of cardio. Half the time I didn't make it, and half the time I did. I'm glad I didn't take any serious damage from losing so much weight, because I was dropping from 210 down to 170.
Why was he doing that shit in the first place? First of all, well, probably because he was knocking people out at 170. He was like, bro, as long as I'm knocking people out at 170, I'm gonna stay at 170. But 210, that's crazy. He was getting down to 170 for fights. Nah, he wasn't, because he was missing most of the time. But
which took place at Bellator 258. Johnson faced Jose Augusto. Although Augusto rocked Johnson early in the fight, Johnson showed his trademark resilience and power, coming back to score a knockout victory in the second round. The win was a reminder of his fearsome striking ability and demonstrated that he could still compete at a high level. After Johnson's thrilling comeback victory, news surfaced that he had been arrested on charges of identity theft and credit card fraud. The charges stemmed from an incident in November 2019, where Johnson was accused of using a stolen credit card to purchase a round-trip airline ticket from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Newark, New Jersey. Although the fraudulent activity occurred years before, Johnson was taken into custody on May 8, 2021, a day after his Bellator debut.
John, you used to be a former cop. What was this usually related to?
I hate to say it, Anthony, you have the thing with women. You piss them off because you find other women. I'm just being honest. I really think that what's occurred here is Anthony used a credit card
from a girl. Yeah,
he bought a ticket with his name.
Because why would
he was trying to steal from somebody?
No,
so there was no intent to create a crime there.
I know AJ pretty well, and knowing that he just made an obscene amount of money for his last fight, and just knowing knowing that he has made plenty of money before in the past.
Which only would make me go, AJ, why are you using someone else's
credit card?
He
Yeah,
was later
bro.
released on a $500 bond. The timing of the arrest cast a shadow over what had been a triumphant return to MMA after a 4-year hiatus. While the incident didn't immediately impact his standing with Bellator, it drew public attention and reignited conversations about Johnson's off-cage controversies. Despite the legal setback, Johnson maintained his focus on recovering from his grueling fight and preparing for the next stage of his career.
I'm very blessed to have the career that I've had so far. I look forward to seeing what happens next.
However, his return was short-lived. Shortly after his Bellator debut, Johnson withdrew from the light heavyweight Grand Prix tournament due to health concerns. This marked the beginning of a difficult and private battle with illness. In late 2021, reports surfaced that Johnson was dealing with an undisclosed medical condition. For much of 2022, Johnson remained largely out of the public eye, and fans became increasingly concerned as his social media activity declined. When he did appear, he looked visibly unwell, sparking speculation about the severity of his condition. In October 2022, Johnson's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, revealed that Johnson was battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and hemophagocytic lymphohistiocytosis, a rare autoimmune disorder. The illnesses had severely weakened him and required aggressive treatment. Despite his fighting spirit, Johnson's health continued to deteriorate. On November 13, 2022, Anthony "Rumble" Johnson passed away at the age of 38.
Rumble Johnson passed away on November 13th from complications from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. You know, Rumble was somebody that a lot of us loved here.
So it seemed like it was something that he had been battling for some time. You'll recall after that Bellator debut, he had to withdraw. And even at the end of the year, he talked about being very scared.
Just condolences to the family. That's all you can really say at this point, you know?
The MMA world was devastated by the news, with fans, fighters, and colleagues paying tribute to his legacy.
Anthony "Rumble" Johnson is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. Yeah. I had a lot of respect for him. You know, I always looked up to him. I don't know, I'm gonna miss him a lot. I really am.
His death was attributed to complications from his illnesses, which he had privately battled for over a year.
Here's a guy who looked like Superman, who was one of the most talented fighters of the past decade, who was one of the hardest hitters of the past decade, and he was feared. I mean, people did not want to fight him.
The biggest welterweight that's ever walked the face of the planet.
Welterweight?
When
Yeah.
he was a welterweight, dude, I saw him in between fights once, and I go, Anthony, how big are you? And he goes, 230 pounds.
230?
He walked in looking like a Greek god. I'm like, how do you get that little? How do you make 170? He was gigantic.
Yeah.
The guy goes up 2 weight classes and is knocking out everybody with one punch at light heavyweight. 35 pounds up and destroying people. Knocking out Glover with one punch. Knocks out Gustafsson. Bro, he fucked everybody up except DC.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Rumble.
Although Johnson's life after MMA was marked by health struggles, his legacy as a fighter remained intact. His highlight reel knockouts and humble demeanor left an indelible mark on the sport. Johnson's efforts to build a life beyond fighting through his business ventures and his eventual return to competition with Bellator demonstrated his resilience and determination. Tributes poured in from across the MMA community.
Ungla, I know this fight meant a lot to you. I can see the picture of Anthony "Rumble" Johnson.
So Anthony passed away during this week, and it's been pretty hard.
Including heartfelt messages from fighters like John Jones, Daniel Cormier, and others who had shared the octagon with him.
To see a guy lose his life at 38, going through the things he went through over the last year, it was just hard to watch and hard to see, especially a guy like that. He didn't deserve that, you know. It's good to see he's not suffering the way I watched it, if that's the silver lining you can take out of that. But he's just an incredible person, incredible human being, and, you know, he'll always, you know, be in my heart when I'm in there.
When I tell you this man was a good person, I cannot overstate it. This is a guy that put the belt on me after I won it the first time. This was something that most guys don't do. It is a massive loss to lose a titan of mixed martial arts. For as big as he was and the fear that he struck in people, he was as sweet as they came. Rumble, I love you, my brother.
For the fans who are newer to the sport, he was the boogeyman of the division. You know, anybody who touches this sport wants to leave a legacy. Regardless of how much time passes, no one will forget and everyone will continue to talk about you 10, 20, 50 years from now. And Rumble did that.
And a reminder just how fragile life is and how none of this is guaranteed. None of this is promised. There's no guarantee that when we go to bed that we're going to wake up. There's no guarantee that next week we'll be healthy. We don't know what's going on in our bodies. Live every day to its fullest, to appreciate everyone in your life, to be thankful and grateful for everything that we have, that you only get one life. You only get one shot at this thing.
Johnson's story serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring impact of his contributions to the sport.
Rumble was known as one of the hardest hitters in the UFC. Absolutely, this one hurts the most. Rumble, we love you. Rest in peace, Rumble. We will definitely.
Rest in peace to Rumble, man. Rest in peace to Rumble Johnson, bro. That's insane. I'm sparking everybody out. I held my composure this time, man. This wasn't necessary, you know. But that's crazy, bro. Damn, man. Hey, look, man. Y'all already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who to react to next, man. See, I like getting hyped during videos, but it's like when the video ends like this, is hard to, like, you know. But, hey, man, I'm going to see y'all next one. Y'all already know what's going on. Okay.